Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a very long time since I've done one of these. Obviously a lot has changed. I hope everybody's safe, hope everybody's well. I'm joined back by a familiar friend in Mr. Joshua Dainty. Hello Josh.
Hi, good to be back finally.
It is. And we're going to be kicking things off with a tier list. Going into the Euro 2021, 2020, I don't really know what we're calling it at the minute. But as you can see here on the screen, we've got Oh, he'll play, which is a guaranteed starter. We've got on the plane, pretty much again self-explanatory, on the plane. Should be fine in danger zone are two that I guess are a little bit more like not self-explanatory, if that makes sense. Should be fine is kind of like, well, they should be fine. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, it's all self-explanatory. You'll get the idea. We'll just jump on straight into it now, Josh. The under 21s or the under 23 squad came out not so long ago. So there's some of these players that we're probably already getting a good idea that we can kind of just chuck them straight in, no chance. And you want to kick us off with?
So I do believe that Godfrey was picked in the under 21s.
He was indeed.
So I think he sort of gives us no chance as getting into the Euro 2020 men's senior squad.
Godfrey. There we go. Godfrey in no chance.
Mason
the
Greenwood
thing is
was the big one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought he might get picked up for the senior squad, but he's obviously been picked for the under 21s.
He's one of them where he's really talented, Greenwood, but I think just he's not quite getting the game time at Man United, and as it tends to happen with the England squad, especially in a major tournament, they've got to be getting some serious game time, and there's no question he'll be in the team in the future, but
I also think
right
that
now.
if you compare him to sort of Rashford when he was his age, it's not as explosive onto the scene, but still very good. It's obviously very hard to explode onto the scene like Rashford did. Rashford did get picked, whereas Mason Greenwood hasn't.
What we say? Okay, another one then is Curtis Jones. He was also in that squad.
Yeah, another one that's just too soon, isn't it?
Yeah, done well this season for the games he has played for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Just too soon. Are there any others that weren't in that squad that you reckon are a no chance? You want to just sack them off instantly?
I think that Kelvin Phillips won't get picked. I think he's obviously a good player, but I feel like there's no chance of him really getting picked for England for the Euros.
Yeah, I think he's decent. It might piss off a few Leeds fans. He's decent, but I think that's all he is.
It's not.
And unfortunately,
we've
got a lot of talented players there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the other end of the spectrum real quick then. First name on the team sheet, in your opinion?
First name on the team sheet for me would have to be Harry Kane. I think he's the captain.
Yeah.
He leads by example, and he also scores a lot of goals. So, self-explanatory one really. He's the captain to get on the plane first.
Yeah, if you could see my face now, I'm smiling reluctantly. I don't want to agree with you, but I have to agree with you.
You've got to come round now. You come round to it.
I just don't. I think it's just the media perception of him. Like he's supposedly this golden boy that can do no wrong. It does my head in a little bit. But I'm happy. He's obviously probably England's best player. We put him in.
Best goal scorer for sure.
Okay, so we've actually spoke about this a little bit. I'll say a little bit, a lot actually, over the last few years, over the goalkeeping choices. Me and you share similar opinions on a certain England number one.
Yeah, who at the time of recording is actually set to miss the set of World Cup qualifiers coming up before the Euros.
Oh yeah, he picked up an injury, didn't he?
Yeah, could maybe.
Is that an excuse to knock him onto the plane?
Well, I wouldn't. Obviously, there's only 3 goalkeepers in this tier list, and you have to take 3.
Yeah.
So he'd definitely be.
They're all minimum on the plane.
Yeah, they're all going to be on the plane. So I'd go should be fine because. Well, I would go should be fine because if his injury does prolong and carry on to the Euros,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
it could be a case that he's in for being replaced.
Yeah, that's a fair point,
Henderson
actually. So
on the plane, I think, again, he's played a few games this year for Man United and shown his quality. Shown a little bit of mistakes sometimes. He's still a bit naive and young, but that's bound to happen when you're at that age and still coming through as a De Gea's understudy.
I think by that logic, are we whacking Pope in?
Yeah,
I will play.
He's been great.
As
been
of
great
this
for the
point
past
in
few
time.
seasons. Brilliant keeper.
So speaking of Nick Pope and Burnley, we'll jump to James Tarkowski. I think he's got no chance. Agree?
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, I think purely because Burnley, known for not conceding too many goals, have actually conceded quite a few goals this season. And obviously we can make the case there for obviously what you're saying Nick Pope is going to get in there, but he's the goalkeeper and he is a good goalkeeper. Not saying Tarkowski's not good, but it's more important for a centre-back to keep the goals out. The goalkeeper is only the last line of defence and only can do so much.
Looking at where we can jump next, I'm going to make a case for John Stones. Sticking him, he'll play. I think John Stones is currently England's best central defender.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that, and he's the best footballing centre-back that we have, as seen this year with his partnership with Dier, and I think he definitely deserves it.
To slot alongside him, we probably have to put Harry Maguire in.
It's one of those players that maybe he hasn't had the best of seasons, but you can just vision it now, him notching up for a 90th minute header or something to get us a win against Scotland or something, and then ripping his top off or something, being really English. So yeah, he starts for me as well with John Stones.
He goes in. Okay, we'll look at another centre back then in Eric Dier. He's obviously played in both CDM and centre back. He's said multiple times now to the media that he does want to play exclusively in the centre back position. He doesn't want to play in the midfield anymore. Does this jeopardise his position in the squad for you?
I don't think it does. I think because Gareth Southgate will call upon him if he needs a job doing anywhere and he knows that he can play. He might not want to play anywhere but centre back, but he knows that Gareth Southgate knows that he can do a job, maybe come on for the last 10 to see out a game. I don't think he'll start. I do think he'll be in the squad.
So you think he'll be on the plane? Or?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think he's one of those players a bit like a Milner, where you can sort of bring him in and he'll play anywhere. And if you need to play him centre back, fair enough. If you need to play him centre mid, fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I've just noticed as well there's 2 Maitland-Nileses in this tier list.
Okay.
And I think he's another one where it's probably just too soon. Again, decent player.
Yeah, obviously getting some game time for West Brom, but there's a lot ahead of him, really. So
we'll whack the duplicate Maitland-Niles into no chance. Okay, a bit of a controversial one.
Okay.
Deli Alley.
Yep.
I'm going to make a case for him being no chance, purely because he just can't get a string of games together for Tottenham. And as talented as he is, if you're not playing regularly for your club, as we've sort of shown already in the pattern of the players we've put in no chance, can you really be making a case for yourself getting on into the England squad?
No, I don't think. I think when you say danger zone as well, you said that you sort of think maybe that he's on the fringes of the squad, and if you look at the past few squads, he hasn't really been, that I can remember anyway. So I think that no chance has to be the case at the minute.
Yeah, I don't
unless something
think he's
changes
been in the
drastically between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, completely agree. Okay, let's maybe look towards the top of this list then. Let's look at Luke Shaw. Probably, again, another one I'm reluctant to say it, but this season, probably the best left back in England, fair to say?
Well, I think overall, yes. From a purely stats point of view, I've actually seen a team that an England 11 that had been picked, and it was actually Aaron Cresswell that was picked ahead of him, which I don't know if he's there in the list. I can't see him.
He's not.
But yeah, he's in with a shout. I think there's 3 left backs that we could potentially use. Luke Shaw, for me, he deserves it fully to get on the plane.
You think on the plane? Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
don't know if he'll start. I'm reluctant to say he'll play, but I'm quite certain he'll be on the plane.
It's a difficult one. I think on the basis of how well he's played, he probably should deserve a start. But prior to this season, he hadn't been making the England squads. He hadn't played really many games at all for England, or really got like a decent string of games together for United either. So I think it's one of them. He'll probably play, but you can't really.
Again, it all depends on the sort of last bit of the season, whether Chilwell gets a good run in under Tuchel, and if Aaron Cresswell continues to strike his numbers up, then he's definitely got a case to get in the squad.
Well, I was going to say on that basis, so we were putting Chilwell on the plane as well. Then I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's just another one of them. I can't say for definite if he will play or not, because of the competition at the minute. And obviously, I think Marcus Alonso has been getting picked quite a bit ahead of him for some games. So it could be the case that he misses out purely because he's not playing all the time. So
I think left back is a position though where we don't really have that much quality in general anyway.
Well, those 3 players I'd certainly class as quality: Luke Shaw, Ben Chilwell, and Aaron Cresswell.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like even with Ben Chilwell's game time dropping, he's still always going to be in the conversation. It's not going to be, say for a case like on the other side of the pitch at right back where we've got 4 quality players, one of them is just bound to miss out.
Agreed on that.
Okay, so if we look at creative midfielders, we look at Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, James Madison, and Mason Mount. There's 4 players there that are very, very similar. I feel like 3 of them probably go into the squad. One of them misses out.
Yeah, I think 3. Yeah.
My 3 personally are Mount, Foden, and Grealish. As good as Madison is, I don't think he's quite been as good as the other 3, to put it plainly.
Yeah, obviously it's a harsh one, but there's 4 quality players there. Someone's got to miss out. Foden's been absolutely world class when he's shown glimpses of that world class.
I think Foden goes on the plane for sure.
Mount again, everyone thought he might slip down the rankings when Tuchel came into Chelsea, but he's hit the ground running with him, and he's a great player as well, so I think he'll be on the plane. And I agree with you, Jack Grealish. Full well my feelings on him, and the fact that he'd been missed out a little bit too much for my liking in past squads. So
the thing with Grealish then, on the plane, or does he start?
I think I think he would play. I'd love to see him start.
Yeah. I was gonna say let's chuck him in there. Yeah, he'll play. Play. Okay. Therefore, James Madison. Realistically, it's probably.
I don't think it's no chance. I think it's danger zone because, like I said before, he has been in the squad, whereas Deli Alley hadn't been. So that's why I think he's just on the danger zone, but not in no chance. Because he could still, get 10 goals for the end of the season, something daft like that. But
yeah, A very, very valid point. Okay, let's go from creative back to defensive players. Looking at Joe Gomez, who is another one. He's out for the season. There's no way I'll be fit. We've been told he's not going to play for Liverpool this season, so I can't see any world in which he gets picked.
Unless there's a huge injury crisis for the English players and somehow he is fit.
Yeah.
I don't think he will.
No. Another one, Lewis Dunk. I think no chance, probably. I do like him. I love Brighton as well, but I think there's just too much ahead of him, realistically speaking.
Yeah, agreed.
And one of those players is Tyrone Mings. Get on the plane for you?
Yeah, he gets on the plane. His partner, Konsa, is one that I really do like, but I don't think if I had to choose between those two, I'd definitely go with Mings for now. Yes, Konsa's probably having a better season from numbers and that, but Mings has been in that squad before, and that's sometimes what you need in a tournament. Just that little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say he's got that international experience, and I think it goes a long way, doesn't it? So Konsa, maybe no chance. I think
I'm not sure, because if he gets picked for this squad for the World Cup qualifiers, then that puts him into danger zone. But for now, I'd go no chance.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to figure out who else has picked up some injury. I'm looking at Harvey Barnes then. Harvey Barnes is another one. You know, having a really good season for Leicester, one of their most influential players in a season that you know they've been doing really well in. I think they're third at the minute, just shy of Man United. But you know, he picked up that horrible injury a couple of weeks ago now, and it looks like he might not play again for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I actually don't know the full-on timescales, but I know obviously it was one that required surgery and rehabilitation.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, probably just misses out and has no chance.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, let's get into this right back situation, because it's bugging me. We've got the likes of Trippier, Alexander-Arnold, Kyle Walker, Reece James, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. 5 names there.
Way too much. Way too many.
The best two, and the two that definitely get on the plane, I think, are Trent and Walker. I think Walker as well, just for the fact that if we do end up playing with 3 centre backs, he very easily slips into the back 3, and obviously then can also play right back. So I think he's a definite on the plane.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it before, and obviously we know, especially how Liverpool's season hasn't exactly gone to plan, to put it mildly, and but they're still in with a chance of a Champions League, and Trent's still got a lot to offer, and he's got that experience. So I think it would be quite mad to drop him or to drop in the rank.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with Trent there. You've kind of just hit it like the nail on the head. Is by his own standards, which you know he's the one that set them so high. He hasn't had a great season. You know, and obviously not to make excuses for him, being a Liverpool fan myself, but a lot of that is down to the struggles that Liverpool have had as a squad, and not necessarily just him. He's also struggled with injuries himself and COVID, struggled to get back up to fitness with that. But just because of the sheer quality of him, it like you said, it would just be madness to leave him out of the squad. So for me, he gets on the plane, and you're then left with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Trippier, and Reece James.
I think probably
it's a difficult one.
I think probably another one to miss out would be Wan-Bissaka. I
was leaning towards Wan-Bissaka to miss out.
Yeah, I think it's tough. Obviously, you can't please everyone with these picks, but of those 5, he's probably not high up in the ranking with the England setup. And obviously there was that thing quite a while ago where he took out the England flag in his Instagram page or something like that, and a lot of rumours surfaced because of that. Because of his allegiances to another country, which I'm actually not too sure which one it is.
It's Nigeria, I believe.
Right, okay, Nigeria. So there's also that you have to factor in. I don't think he's going to be certain at all. Picked by Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree, and then therefore Trippier and James get on the plane, or how are we doing this?
Yeah,
I think
I'd say I would put Reece James in should be fine, because because then we've got 2 definite right backs going on the plane, which is what you'd probably see. I think he will go on the plane, James, but it depends on how Southgate will use Walker, really. If he just intends to use him as a right back only, then maybe James might miss out.
Okay. So if we have James should be fine and Trippier on the plane?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's had a... maybe Trippier and should be fine as well. Because then we've got 2 that are definites, and Walker and Trent to be on the plane, and then 2 that...
And 2 that can almost fight over.
So I think that's a very diplomatic way of doing it.
Yeah. Trying to please as many people as you can. I like it.
Sitting on that fence.
Okay. Let's have a look-see then. Who else we can maybe just toss away? I'm looking at Jude Bellingham. Another really good young player.
I'll see.
Yeah.
The fact that he got missed out of the under-21 squad for the European, or whatever it was, World Cup European Championship, speaks to me volumes. Is that maybe Southgate's going to go with him? And obviously he's been playing well for Dortmund in the Champions League and Bundesliga. So I think he's got a chance, you know.
Yeah, it's difficult to argue with that one. I think I'm more going off the basis of I'm not quite sure he's done enough, and I'm not quite sure where he fits into the squad at this present point in time.
I don't think he'll be one that plays every game and gets first on the name on the team sheet, but purely judging from the fact that he's been left out of that under-21 squad, it says to me that he probably might get in the squad, but I'd be happy to go in danger zone. I don't think he's got no chance because of that fact that I've just said.
Okay, I'm happy to go danger zone now. It's something we can maybe look back on at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To toss away.
We could put
Ollie
Sterling
Watkins
on the plane. I guess he'll definitely go.
Oh, Raheem Sterling. Yeah, sorry. I do apologise. Raheem Sterling does go straight on the plane. I'm thinking Ollie Watkins to quickly toss away. He's a decent player. I think he's done all right for you in FPL. Am I right in saying?
Yes. Yeah, he's been all right. I like him. He's a good striker. Obviously scored a lot, and then up through the ranks from like League 2 to Premier League in quick succession. So got plenty to offer, but I think the choices ahead of him are the reason for that no chance.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously one of them being Harry Kane, another one being Calvert Lewin. Where do you sit with him?
I think he'll go. I think it's one of those where, again, he's been in the squad before. He knows what the surroundings are like now. It would be his first major tournament, but with Harry Kane alongside you, I think that Southgate would put his faith in Calvert Lewin as a good substitute striker.
So we putting him on the plane?
Yeah, I think he will be.
Yeah. Okay, looking at the other 2 strikers then. If we look at Bamford
We've got three
sorry,
there.
the other three. If we look at Bamford, Callum Wilson, and Danny Ings.
Yeah.
Now, for me, it's always difficult because you've also got the option of Rashford, whether you can play him up front for a game and what he can offer. And obviously, he's somebody that, I mean, we'll get into it after, but he's somebody that already probably plays, if not maybe even just starts every game. Out of these three, then, I think we're probably gonna have to cast aside two.
Two no chances, or do you think two in danger zone, one in no chance?
I reckon. Okay. We'll put. I reckon we can maybe settle for one in no chance, two in danger zone.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make a case for one of the danger zone guys being Danny Ings, just purely because for me he's head and shoulders better than the other two.
Yeah, been around longer, more experience, more goals. I think. Don't quote me on it.
Yeah.
But
Again, it's one of those ways. It's just the talent above him probably is just too much for him to actually get into the team. But if you're going to look at a different option, like another reserve striker, it's going to be him before you look at Bamford or Wilson, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I would say Bamford has had the better season than Wilson, and so I would go for Wilson, no chance. Bamford, danger zone.
Yeah. Fairly straightforward
and
stuff.
There's also that thing as well with not picking players from teams that are down at the bottom of the table, so that's another reason for no Callum Wilson probably.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think as we spoke on Rashford, then I think, does Rashford start for you? Does he get on the or is it on the? For me personally, I think Rashford starts.
Yeah, I would say so too. Would you have him on the right and then Grealish on the left, or vice versa? What would your pick be? Or would you have Grealish on the left or right?
You've asked me this question. You've really put me in the tough spot. I think they're both probably better on the left, aren't they? Which does cause a bit of a dilemma.
Yeah.
I think Grealish is probably the more versatile out of the two, in terms of the fact that he can play on both wings. I know Rashford, you'd go with Rashford down the middle, over Grealish. So I'd maybe go look at Rashford on the left and maybe Grealish on the right.
Yeah, I think Grealish would be more comfortable out of his favoured left than Rashford, like you're saying, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna make a quick case for somebody to get on the plane. You probably already know who it's gonna be. The boy Saka. This guy, in my opinion, the best young talent, or best. Is he a teenager still? Is he a teenager?
He's got to be a teenager.
Is he 20?
Still.
I think he's going off the basis that I think he's a teenager. Yeah. I think he's the best teenager in the Premier League right now. He's unbelievable. What he's doing, especially with the players around him at Arsenal, obviously, none of them really set the world alight. They've got a couple of players in the likes of, like you say, Aubameyang or Tierney. The new signing in Partey's decent, but it's not really a squad that makes your mouth drop. Yet he seems to be the guy that, week in, week out, he's just carrying them through. And not to mention his versatility, the fact that he can play both. Yeah, he can play both sides at the wing backs. We've seen him play left back. We've seen him play on the left wing, on the right wing. He's played in centre mid at times for Arsenal as well. For me, he has to get on the plane.
Well,
I don't know where you stand on him.
As well, which says a lot.
I think he did, yeah.
So yeah, I can't really pick any faults, any disagreements there. You make some valid points. So I think I'd agree with you.
Has to go on the plane. He's such a good player, I'd love Liverpool to sign that guy. Okay, we'll flip on the other side then, from the playing to maybe another one we can cast away. I'm looking at Harry Winks here. He's a player that I do like. His passing range I actually think is incredible.
Yeah.
But he's another one he can't quite get into the Tottenham team.
Yeah, there's other options ahead of him in there that's keeping him out. And on Deli for one. Yeah, I think it's probably no chance for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll pop him there then. We'll pop him there. Okay, an easy one to get on the plane. Out of these guys, anyone you want to make a case for?
I think Sancho will probably go on the plane. He hasn't obviously had.
He's the one I was looking at as well.
The most amazing season this year, but still pretty good. So yeah, I think he'd be on the plane.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at Declan Rice now, and I'm looking at Jordan Henderson.
Okay.
So the reason I've kind of intentionally left Jordan Henderson this late, for the reason of he would usually be one of the first names on the team sheet, I think.
Yeah.
He's
another captain.
Well, I mean, he's the captain without the armband, essentially.
Yeah.
But with his injury and the likelihood of him playing again for Liverpool this season looking less and less likely, it's hard for me to put him anywhere but the danger zone.
I mean,
obviously,
you'll know more than me. What's his time scales for injury? Is it really unlikely that he won't be back for Liverpool?
The club don't like to comment on it too much, but the latest sort of news we've heard is the chances are he probably won't, or if he does, he might play the last 2 games or something of the season. Like, he might be back for the last couple at best.
Well, we've seen in the past England coaches have taken chances on players with injury at the start of the tournament. Obviously, I'm thinking of Wayne Rooney being the prime suspect there, but will he risk it with Henderson? He could do.
Sure. I mean,
that's why I'd agree with danger zone, because he's not got a lot of time to prove his fitness.
Yeah. I'd be reluctant to put him in no chance, just because, like I mentioned before, it is Jordan Henderson. He's usually one of the first names on the team sheet. His fitness levels are probably up there with the best, if not maybe the best in the whole squad. So I don't doubt that he could get back up to fitness. It's just whether it's deemed safe or I guess right for them to take that chance on him. And put that pressure on him as well. So I reckon we probably put him in danger zone.
Okay.
And I think what that does for Declan Rice, had Henderson been in the starting team guaranteed, Declan Rice would have just been on the plane for me. But I think if there's a conversation about whether Jordan Henderson's, whether he gets into the team or not because of his injury, I think that instantly propels Declan Rice into potentially just a starting position.
Yeah, it's a good point.
As of this point in time.
Yeah, there's not many that are challenging him for that role, probably holding midfielder. So yeah, I would agree with you on that. I think he probably gets the nod.
Yeah, so he goes in. Okay, we're looking here. We've still got there's another 2 centre backs down here still, in Connor Cody and Michael Keane.
And to be honest, both of them could be on the plane, But then we've got quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 as the starters. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we've got, all together that are on the plane / starting, we've already got 20 players.
Right. Okay.
So then we could look at, obviously, some of the Pickford, James, Trippier should be fine. That takes us to between 20 and 23.
Well, what we could do, I suppose, is make our desired 11 and put those as will play, and then we can take the rest from there. And Because then at least we've got a full 11 in our play.
Are there 11 players though that are in this setup that you would be happy to see play every game?
I'm just trying to go through the positions. So Pope, Trent, maybe. Maguire Stones in there.
Yeah.
Left back's the only tough one for me, I think. Because obviously Kyle Walker has been playing, but with Pep rotation, you never know. It might not be enough.
Yeah. I think that's where it becomes difficult. I think we could make a case for Connor Cody in should be fine.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Just because I don't really want to overdo it. Obviously, look, he's a captain. You know, I've heard you speak about before the fact that he's captain in a Wolves squad that are full of Portuguese players. Obviously, the English in that dressing room isn't going to be amazing. So the fact that he captains that squad and captains it so well just speaks volumes about him as a person or a personality within the dressing room.
Yeah, 100%.
Because obviously he's not going to play every game.
No.
Or even maybe not any games, but
definitely one.
Just having him there
for the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave him in. Should be fine then. I'm gonna make it's a tough call. We'll see what you think about it. I'm gonna say Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ross Barkley, and no chance. I'll say for why real quickly. I'm just gonna say Callum Hudson-Odoi is someone else that he has struggled with injury. He's not broken into the Chelsea team too much this season. I don't believe. I don't really remember him playing too much, at least anyway.
Well, there was a famous time where he got pulled by Tuchel after being subbed.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was that his first? I think that might have been his first time playing under Tuchel as well.
So I don't think he's going to get the game time.
He's another one where you can see he's a talented player, but it's another one of those, like Greenwood or like Curtis Jones, where it's just, it's maybe just one competition too soon for him.
Yeah.
And Ross Barkley, I think he started the season well. Did he get injured?
He did, yeah. He did. He was on the sidelines for quite a while.
Yeah. He's another one where it's I think the competition ahead of him is too strong now. I think if we're putting Madison in the danger zone, if we're having to put a player of Madison's quality in the danger zone because of the quality ahead of him, Ross Barkley's probably got no chance, if we're being honest.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay, so then we leave it down to the free kick maestro himself, James Ward-Prowse, and Michael Keane.
Yeah.
Where do these guys sit for you?
Well, looking at the squad, we don't actually have that many centre midfielders. So I'm not sure. I'd like to see him in the squad, but will he be? I'm not sure. Don't know.
I think you could always make a case of. You could make a case of him being in the danger zone, because you could go. We could talk about the Henderson thing again, and if Henderson does miss out on the squad entirely, it's probably James Ward-Prowse that comes in and gets on the plane for him instead of him. Yeah,
I'll agree with that. Chuck him in danger zone.
So we maybe put him in danger zone. Just it's going to be between him and Henderson, then probably to get in, and then Michael Keane. I've been a big critic of his in the past, but he's put in some impressive performances over the season.
He
Obviously,
has. Everton have been a little bit up and down. Not really been able to get a consistent run. That's the problem. Still probably
Okay, let me...
him, but...
Right, how many centre-backs have we already got in this? We've got Stones, we've got Maguire, we've got Mings, we've got like Kyle Walker
Cody.
That can go there, and then Connor Cody.
So
if we're including, 4, potentially 5, and let me put this to you, we'll try and make this a bit easier. In your opinion, is Michael Keane better than Connor Cody?
Oh, that's not an easy question to answer. But,
okay, let me rephrase it.
Who would I rather have?
Is Michael Keane more suited to the setup than Cody?
But because they've both been in that setup for quite a few squads now, they both kind of are, but Cody's that I remember reading an article basically saying that Cody's now, he might not be playing all the time, but he's one of the senior lads, even though he's not made that many appearances for England, purely because of his influence. So from that perspective, it's Cody ahead of Keane.
So are we looking... I mean, is Keane going to drop into no chance then? With 5 potential centre-backs ahead of him?
We should put in danger zone. Because the danger zone is
so you think there's still like an outside chance?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay, well that's that then. I'll give you the opportunity. Is there anybody you see there that doesn't look right to you? Anybody that you think we could maybe move? Or are you happy? Personally, I think I'm happy. But I'll give you the opportunity to. Yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. Well then that is our England, or the Euros 2021, 2020, whatever you want to call it, whatever I title the video. That is our tier list. If you disagree or you have any other changes you'd like to make, leave it in the comment below. Now, Josh, I know you wanted to speak a little on a project you've got coming up. So I'll leave the floor to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having the opportunity to do that. Obviously, a lot of people who follow us both will know that I've recently purchased an apartment and moved in. I'm obviously hoping to turn this, where I'm recording right now, into a little bit of a studio where I can create content again, because it's been a few years now where I've not had the chance to, and also the motivation to. So I'm hoping to get back on the horse. Hopefully we'll be introducing a new podcast in which you will be featuring as well with me in a few of those episodes for sure. And yeah, I'm excited.
Potentially a few very exciting guests coming on to that as well.
Yeah, we've had a chat and we've got a list. There's a lot of interesting characters there, and I'm hoping that we can put it together and introduce I think it's going to be a weekly podcast. So keep your eyes peeled on my socials and my YouTube channel. Obviously, it's been a little bit of a ghost town in the past couple of years, as I mentioned. But hopefully we'll get it back up again.
Yeah, I mean, awesome. As the man says, go and check him out. So subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. Follow him on Instagram, on Twitter. Keep your eyes peeled for when he does release the podcast. Sure, it won't be too long, and as he said, once he does, it'll be a regular thing. Subscribe to me, follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on everything else, all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Já viu rico namorar pobre?